Hi guys, my name is AnitadeSouza. I am a chartered accountant by profession and a financial coach. I help individuals and entrepreneurs to understand their financial health, overcome debt, build a better financial position, and then essentially build wealth after that. Okay, I am talking really fast today because I want to keep my video to a minimum of 10 minutes. Who believes I can do it? Well, I'm going to try. So today I want to talk about a very useful and interesting topic, which is Dave Ramsey's baby steps to financial freedom. Okay, I myself have benefited from it, and I think a lot of people can benefit from it as well. I still use it, and I've tweaked it a little bit, but it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, as a millennial myself, okay, I believe that to a certain extent our generation is all about living our best life, right? Wait for it, living our best life on social media. Okay, so we're always looking at what other people are doing, trying to live up to the Joneses, just more concerned about how people view us on social media and all that kind of stuff. And you are trying to impress people who are not really that interested. Like, somebody will probably give you 1 minute of time simply because they're looking at something on social media, but once they swipe left, right, up or down, basically they will how can I put it, they will more or less forget about you, because everybody has their own issues, right? So we've got to remember that, like, once it's all said and done, we all go back to living our normal lives, and that is that. So social media is fun. Like, I love social media. I love the posts, I love the motivational stuff, I love the inspirational stuff. It's amazing. I love the family pics, but at the same time I know that social media to a certain extent is, people don't necessarily post their difficult situations on social media, right? And what you see is not always what it is, right? The truth of the matter is, social media to a certain extent can be fake, right? I've said it. So here's a quick story, right? There's this famous family on YouTube. They've got, I think, about 500,000 subscribers, okay? And they live like a lavish life. They've got a massive house, which is like $500,000. They've got an incredible car. They travel a lot, right? And, they vlog everything. So you look at them and you're like, wow, right? But here's the twist. They did a debt confession on YouTube. So they did a 4-part series where they talked about the fact that they were seriously in debt. Okay, and I think it's amazing because it was so transparent at that fact. Hi, Emmeline. So transparent at the fact. Like, debt is a big thing, and for these guys who have like 500,000 subscribers, to tell people that they're actually in debt and that they are going to sell their £500,000 house to be able to pay off their debt was incredible. Okay, so that just makes you think that what you see on social media is not always what things appear to be, right? End of the day, the lower band, from my experience, lower band millionaires, and they are people from like who have like 1 million to like 10 million pounds or dollars, whatever it is. They are very understated. Okay, my millionaire clients are very understated. Yes, they might dress well, eat well, and maybe even live in a posh area, but if you were to bump into them in Sainsbury's, you probably would never know that they're millionaires, right? And so what Dave Ramsey always says is that people on social media that look like millionaires, most of the time, guess what, are probably not millionaires. I've said it, right? So this is why it's so important for us to put ourselves first, right? And for us to invest time in our finances, because at the end of the day, you're building for your future. You're building generational wealth for your kids and their kids and their kids, and so on. You get it, right? Okay, so let's talk. What is financial freedom? So financial freedom is basically you being able to make financial decisions, spend money without worrying and stressing about the financial impact it's going to have on your life, right? So financial independence basically means that you are sorted. You don't have to worry about money, and you control your finances as opposed to your finances controlling you. Because when you're in debt, your finances do control you, because you're constantly worrying about how you're going to pay off this debt. Okay, so Dave Ramsey is an American financial guru, I would like to say. I just completely love him because he's absolutely amazing. He is a no nonsense person, right? But just because he says things as it is, right? So he will tell you you're stupid for making silly financial decisions, and he can come across as a bit harsh, but he does say it as it is. Now, Dave Ramsey he's on American TV, he's got a podcast, he's on YouTube. So if you'd like to get to know more about him, please go and research him or contact me, and we can talk or whatever. But one of the things that Dave Ramsey says is that live like no one else, right? So later you can live and give like no one else, right? And so what it means is that you're sacrificing a little bit now to be able to live an amazing life in the future, okay? So there are 7 steps to Dave Ramsey's baby steps to financial freedom, okay? I believe that there should be a step 0, right? And here are the steps. Okay, before you start the steps, so can I just say that what Dave Ramsey says is that if you are wanting to pay off your debt and you are serious about it, you have to commit to not spending any more debt. So before you start this plan, you have to say to yourself, right, from now on, I am not going to spend any more debt, okay? I am not going to use any more credit cards, any more, catalog debt. I want to pay off my debt. And you have to make that commitment to yourself, not to anyone else, but to yourself, okay? And so here is baby step number 0. Baby step number 0, I think, would be to know exactly how much debt you're in, okay? And then budget, create a budget. And I know the word budget doesn't sound interesting, but having a budget on a monthly basis is incredible. The people I have worked with and helped, they tell me that I've literally changed their lives because now they know how to use a budget. And it's not difficult, right? It's really not. I've got a really simple system that can help you to use it, right? And so then it takes me on to step number 1. Step number 1 is create an emergency fund of £1,000. Like Dave Ramsey is American, so obviously he would say $1,000, but I would say £1,000. And what this emergency fund is to have money to use in case something happens unexpectedly. So for example, your car breaks down or your washing machine breaks down. These things are things that we need on a daily basis. So for example, I got into a car accident last year. It was a very minor one, but I had to pay an excess on my insurance before my car was fixed, right? And I had an emergency fund, so I went straight to my emergency fund and used that. But what if I didn't have an emergency fund? I would be having to look for £300 no, I think it was less than that, but anyway, to pay to my insurance company before they would pay the rest, right? So always have an emergency fund, and Dave recommends an emergency fund of £1,000. Step number 2, pay off all your non-mortgage debts, right? So that's credit cards, loans, catalog credit. Pay those off, right? And you can use different methods. I have done a video on how to pay off your debt fast. It was a Facebook Live, so you can go and look at that video where I talk about the snowball effect, right? And that is not the most cheapest way of paying off your debt, but it's the easiest way, and actually it will make a big difference to you, okay? So pay off all your non-mortgage debt. That's baby step number 2. And you can do this by selling things, right? So declutter your home and sell all the things that you don't need, right? You could sell your some of your furniture. You could sell, your kids' toys. You could sell that they don't use, obviously. You could sell clothes. And there's this joke that Dave always says, and it's like, he says, sell everything so that your kids to the point where your kids think that they're going to be sold next, right? So that's quite funny. But so that's step number 2. Step number 3, save fully an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months. So by step number 3, you would have paid off all your debt, right? That's the assumption. Step number 3, you would have paid off all your debt. And once you've done that, you have to save an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months. Because what if you are made redundant? What if you don't have a job, or something happens and you can't work for 3 to 6 months? You need to set aside this emergency fund for that, right? But taking that further, you may even want to think about getting an income protection plan. Because what if you're made redundant, or what if you fall ill and you don't have any income, right? A friend of mine got income protection and he was made redundant, and they paid him his monthly wage for 6 months, and that allowed him to find another job. So that's just a kind of cushion if you would want to consider it. Step number 4 invest in your pension. So the last thing you want, okay, so I've done 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, I've got to be quick. So step number 4, the last thing you want to do is get to your pension age and not have any other form of income, right? I know here in the UK we've got, a pension, but what if that was to stop? What are you going to do? How are you going to survive as a mature person, right? So you need to save towards your pension. So baby step number 4, what Dave Ramsey recommends is 15% of your income going to your pension. And if you don't have your employer contributing to your pensions, create your own private pension and start contributing to that. Now the thing is, by the time you get to stage 4, you would have been debt free in terms of consumer debt, right? So you will be able to actually invest more into your pension, probably 30 to 40% more. But for now, if 15% is all you can do, go for that. Okay. What else? The thing is, ultimately you have to plan for your future, plan for when you retire. Baby step number 5 is fund for your children's education or for your children's future. If you don't have any children, you can skip this step. But the whole idea is to actually put some savings aside for your kids when they grow up. Okay, I have a friend where her parents saved her deposit for her house, for her first home, and that helped her to get onto the property ladder. Not all of us can have that, but at least if you didn't have that, you can help your kids get onto the property ladder or have a better life. All right, so that's baby step number 5. Baby step number 6 is to pay off your mortgage, right? So by this point you don't have any other debt and you can actually start paying off more towards your mortgage. So overpaying, if you overpay towards any kind of debt, you are reducing the interest that is charged, and then you are also saving money for the future, because obviously you're not spending that money for a longer period of time. So if you can pay off your debt fast, do it. Okay, and then the last step, but not the least, is baby step number 7 is to build wealth. After you are debt free, guess what? You can build wealth. Okay, and by this point you could probably get an investment broker who can help you to invest in some very fancy stocks. You can invest like crazy, but then also you can enjoy your money. So what Dave Ramsey says is that you can't enjoy your money whilst you're in debt because you're constantly worried about your debt. But once you're debt free, just imagine the feeling, right? And at this point you have onus on your money to do whatever you want to do with it. Now, let me just add a point. Dave Ramsey talks about, enjoying your money and giving. So he's a Christian and he goes by, the Bible principles. And he always talks about, giving back to your church, giving back to your community, not just monetarily, but also by giving your time. So how are you impacting your community? How are you impacting your church? How are you impacting your friends, your family? Once you're financially free, you can actually do all the things that you love, right? What else can I say? So, and I think that once you're debt free and you earn money, you can enjoy your money. Like, I don't see why people give other people a hard time when they're living a good life, when they have that money to live a good life. Like the higher level millionaires can actually afford to just buy a car outright. They can afford to buy a house with cash, but if you're not at that stage, don't do silly things like that. It's just not going to help you. Okay, so I'm done with all I have to say, but the main thing is that if you are in a difficult financial situation for your business or your personal life and you need some help, get in contact, DM me, right? Because that's what I'm here for, that's what I'm passionate about, and that's what I love. Okay, and then the other thing is that how would you serve people if you were debt free? What would you do if you were debt free? Basically, how would you use your gifts and your abilities and your skills if you could do anything you want because your money is unlimited? Basically, what would you do? Let me know. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the likes, the shares and the subscribes, and have a wonderful weekend. Take care and lots of love. Bye. Before you leave, don't forget to like and comment, subscribe and click that bell. To follow me on my other platforms, my links are below. Click on them and they will take you straight there. Take care. Bye.